What's going on, Safemoonarmy, Safemoon family? Thanks again for joining me for yet another video. If you are new here or have not subscribed, subscribe, smash that like button, share with all your friends. Just so you know, I'm not a financial advisor. Anything you hear or see in this video is not financial advice. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And if you want to become a channel member, just hit that join button below this video. You will get custom emojis priority in the comment section. And sometimes I will do member only videos to cover topics that you are interested in. Also, if you want to support this channel but don't want to join, I do have a merch store. You can visit that as well and pick up some pretty sweet swag. On today's show, we are going over the Barajolly group and some interesting stuff about the upcoming exchanges. So strap in because here we go. All right, this is where we're starting off. We're starting off on safemoon.net. If you look down here, this is John Caroni. He is the CEO of Safemoon. We all know that. But if we fly on over to this is John Caroni. He is the Chief Data Officer at the Barajolly Group. I'm not sure if everyone knew that. Now, what is the Barajolly Group? If we fly on over to this is the AMA with the cronies. I covered this a couple of times, but if you read down here, it says Jennifer Caroni is the Chief Strategy Officer for the Barajolly Group, a Western development company. So we know that John Caroni is, if we fly back here, the Chief Data Officer for the Barajolly Group. So he is working with his mom over at the Barajolly Group. Now, if we fly on over to this is Blue Triangle International. And if we read down here, it says Brandon John Caroni is the CEO of that. So now we know that John Caroni, if we fly back here, is the CEO of Safemoon. We know that John Caroni is the Chief Data Officer at the Barajolly Group. And over at Blue Triangle, we know that John Caroni is the CEO over there, but he is listed as Brandon John Caroni. So if anyone was wondering, John Caroni's first name is Brandon. That's something I brought up in a previous episode, but he just goes by John. Now, if we fly back over to the AMA with the cronies, this is something that I did try to touch on before, the Barajolly Group Ltd. And when I checked out their website, it was down, and I pulled up an older website in my last video because it was offline. You couldn't access it. But now look at this. This is the new Barajolly Group Ltd website. It says, "Welcome to Barajolly, a company for tomorrows." And if you are bored, you can actually go to barajolly.com and check it out for yourself. This is now up and going. And if you read down here under our origin, investment and development, established in 2019, the Barajolly Group Ltd manages and supports foreign direct investment and long-term development in the Gambia, located along the coast of West Africa. Now, that's something pretty interesting. The Gambia. Gee, I wonder who also is involved in the Gambia. Safemoon is also involved in the Gambia. And look under here, it says our purpose is responsibility and community, and our focus is well-being and the economy. And if you read down here, it says the Barajolly Group Ltd recognizes the challenges of development on the African continent, and we support projects to revitalize and transform the economy for the well-being of all Gambians. And guess who else is trying to do that? Safemoon is. They are trying to help out with the infrastructure. They are trying to help out with the electrical grid. They're trying to help out with Wi-Fi and internet and mesh networks and also currency. So they have a lot invested in that as well. Now, if you scroll down a little bit more, it says our approach to ensure success of all projects. Barajolly has developed a unique and collaborative management approach. Super interesting. And if you look over here, it says facilitation of public-private partnership. And if you read under here, it says as an ambassador at large for the Gambia, Shang Kung, our co-founder, is able to encourage and bring in investors for a public-private partnership to complement our combined efforts in the Gambia. Now, where have I heard that public-private partnerships before? Let's fly on over to this. If you go over to bluetriangleinternational.com, you can see it says simple solutions to complex problems. And if you read down here, it says Blue Triangle International is a data-centric driven problem solver, whether it to be sustainable social impact, data analytics, or sourcing scarce items, we are your group. Well, that's pretty interesting. If you fly back here, you can see that John Caroni is the CEO of Blue Triangle International. And if we go back to the web page and you click on LRSI, which means low risk social impact. And if you read down here under public-private partnerships, now that's something I just brought up from the Barajolly Group. And if you read down here, public-private partnerships, or PPP, is the perfect fusion of government and private sector when done correctly. PPPs are extremely successful when done in a sector with sustainable return on investment and done with the mindset of doing good. P3s are best using small businesses with local government support. So now, as you could see, we connected Blue Triangle to Barajolly to John to his mom. Everyone's together. They're all interacting together. This is a whole ecosystem that they have going on in the background. And if you really want to know what's going on behind Safemoon, then you should read up what the Barajolly group is doing. Also take a look into Blue Triangle International and see what they have done in the past. I believe there's a lot of involvement from those two companies. Now let's fly back to the Barajolly Group Ltd. And if you read under here, it says facilitation of public-private partnerships, or those 3 Ps that we were just talking about, and you see Sheng Kung. Now, who is Sheng Kung? Well, that seems very familiar. If you go back to the AMAs in early May, this is an interview done with John Karony and Sheng Kung. He is the co-founder of Barajolly Group, and listen to this conversation that John Karony had with him.
My name is Sankung Jawara. I hail from the Gambia, and I am the ambassador at large for Gambia. One of my responsibilities is to make sure that I vetted businesses that can come to Gambia and help improve our economy, work with the Gambian people, and bring a lot of opportunities to Gambia. And I'm delighted and happy to partner with Safemoon, which is going to help us in that aspect.
What can Safemoon do to enable entrepreneurship inside the Gambia?
We know in Africa, especially when it comes to technology, a lot of time, we are the last, to benefit from. So this is all different. This is new, and Gambia being one of the first in Africa to be able to do that, I think that's incredible.
How is the central bank going to come into play with this, Sankung?
Well, it's going to help the central bank because most of the transaction, like I said, is done in Dalasi. And now knowing that it's going to give them that power to be able to do a lot of transactions. And like I said, the safety, for instance, which is a great deal. And they will be able to less printing of the Dalasi, which is going to save them a whole lot. And there will be a lot of transactions, which eventually is going to bring a lot of, money and resources to Gambia. So there is a lot of benefit that the central bank, derive from this project.
So I think that was a lot of good information. I know that happened a long time ago. It happened back in May, but there still was a lot of great information in that little part of the interview that I plugged in there. But also I wanted to connect Barajolly Group to Sheng Kung, and I wanted to connect it to Safemoon and bring it all around together so you guys can see that Barajolly is absolutely working with Safemoon, and they're absolutely working with Blue Triangle to get the same common goal together, to get this public-private partnership with these governments. And one of the greatest things that was said in this particular interview was the amount of transactions that they will do because they're using it as a currency over there in the Gambia, and they don't even have to print dollars, so it's going to help out the banking systems a lot. Can you imagine a cryptocurrency with that type of use case? The volume is going to be off the charts. That is so huge, and everyone should be super excited by it. Now let's fly on over to this. This was a message that was on Discord between John and Insane3. It says, John, is the exchange coming out Q2 or Q3? John Karony responded, it comes when it comes, but exchange listings are small compared to what we are building. And just so everyone knows, we literally were just connecting the Barajolly Group to Safemoon to Sheng Kung, and Sheng Kung said that they were going to be using this as some sort of currency over in the Gambia, and this would be absolutely huge with the amount of transactions that they were doing. So yes, John, we could totally see what you are building, and it is going to be huge. But the exchanges are still important, so let's fly on over to this. This was another conversation that happened on Discord. It said, oh, of course, just wanted to see if he would give us more upcoming news. And John Karony responded, how close is the moon to us? Asking for a friend. Literal moon, not financial advice, not talking about price. Now let's fly on over to this conversation on Discord. It says, yes, I do. I smell listing, which surprisingly smells like beef. And John Karony responded, just around the corner. Now, what am I getting at with these two tweets? If we go back to this one said, how close is the moon to us? Asking for a friend. And now we're going to fly back to this tweet. He says right around the corner. And then over on Twitter, Mandela Exchange posted this poll that asks, do you know how far Mandala headquarters is away from the moon? It's closer than you might think, just around the corner. Obviously, you could see the connections between what John said here. How close is the moon to us? If you go back to Twitter, it says, do you know how far Mandala HQ is from the moon? And if you look at John Caroni's response, he said right around the corner. And if you look at the Mandala exchange, it says just around the corner. Guys, I don't know if you have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out, but I can almost guarantee you that Safemoon is coming to the Mandala exchange. So get excited. It's just around the corner. That's all I have for today's show, guys. If you liked it, subscribe, smash that like button, share with all your friends. And I want to give a huge shout out to Waffle Coin for giving me a bunch of leads on this episode. Thank you so much, Waffle Coin. You're the man. And that's all I got for today's show, guys. I'll see you in the next video.